Bloomberg News is an international news agency headquartered in New York City and a division of Bloomberg LP. Content produced by Bloomberg News is disseminated through Bloomberg terminals, Bloomberg Television, Bloomberg Radio, Bloomberg Businessweek, Bloomberg Markets, Bloomberg.com, and Bloomberg's mobile platforms since 2015. John Micklethwait has served as editor-in-chief. Bloomberg News was founded by Michael Bloomberg and Matthew Winkler in 1990 to deliver financial news reporting to Bloomberg terminal subscribers. The agency was established in 1990 with a team of 6 people. Winkler was first editor-in-chief. In 2010, Bloomberg News included more than 2,300 editors and reporters in 72 countries and 146 news bureaus worldwide. Bloomberg Business News was created to expand the services offered through the terminals. According to Matthew Winkler, then a writer for the Wall Street Journal, Michael Bloomberg telephoned him in November 1989 and asked, "What would it take to get into the news business?" In his book, The Bloomberg Way, Winkler recalls a conversation with Bloomberg about a hypothetical ethical dilemma which could have arisen from Bloomberg's interest in creating a newspaper. "You have just published a story that says the chairman, and I mean chairman, of your biggest customer has taken $5 million from the corporate till. He is with his secretary at a Rio de Janeiro resort, and the secretary's spurned boyfriend calls to tip you off. You get an independent verification that the story is true. Then the phone rings. The customer's public relations person says, 'Kill the story or we will return all the terminals we currently rent from you. What would you do?' Winkler asked. Quote, 'Go with the story,' Bloomberg replied. 'Our lawyers will love the fees you generate.' Winkler recalls this as his deciding moment, the time at which he became willing to help Bloomberg build his news organization. The publication was created to provide concise, timely financial news. As a new company in 1990, Bloomberg hoped that the news service would spread the company name, sell more Bloomberg terminals and end Bloomberg's reliance on the Dow Jones news services. The creation of Bloomberg Business News required Winkler to open a Bloomberg office in Washington, D.C., to report about political effects on the business world. However, the Standing Committee of Correspondence in Washington required Bloomberg News be formally accredited to act as a legitimate news source, a title that Bloomberg Business News only accomplished after agreeing to provide free terminals to major newspapers in exchange for news space in the publications. During this growth period, Bloomberg News opened a small television station in New York, purchased New York radio station WNEW, launched 15-minute weekday business news programs for broadcast on PBS, and opened offices in Hong Kong and Frankfurt, Germany. The initial goal of Bloomberg Business News to increase terminal sales was met by the mid-1990s and the company refocused the scope of its news service to rival the profitability of other media groups such as Reuters and Dow Jones. This led to the creation of Bloomberg's magazine, Bloomberg Personal, in 1995, which was carried in the Sunday edition of 18 U.S. papers. In 1994, Bloomberg launched a 24-hour financial news service through Bloomberg Information Television, which was broadcast on DirecTV. Bloomberg also launched a website to provide the audio feed of its radio broadcasts. Bloomberg Business News was renamed Bloomberg News in 1997. In 2009, Bloomberg News and The Washington Post launched a global news service known as the Washington Post News Service with Bloomberg News, to provide economic and political news. In April 2014, Bloomberg News launched the Bloomberg Luxury Lifestyle section of its paper. The section's content covers topics including travel, wine news, dining, auto news, gadgets, technology news, and more. It also highlights content from Bloomberg's quarterly lifestyle and luxury magazine, Pursuits. In 2015, an internal memo written by editor-in-chief John Micklethwait was leaked to the public. This memo indicated an intent to refocus the agency to better target its core audience, the clever customer who is short of time, and better achieve the goal of being the definitive chronicle of capitalism. This change led to a reduction in reporting on general interest topics, in favor of content related to business and economics. In 2018, Micklethwait announced a new digital design for Bloomberg News. Bloomberg uses a metered paywall to charge visitors for content limiting users to view 10 free articles per month with unlimited reread option, and 30 minutes of Bloomberg television watch per day with reset at local midnight time. In November 2019, as Michael Bloomberg announced his presidential campaign, Editor-in-Chief John Micklethwait ordered his staff not to investigate their boss, nor any other Democratic candidate.